Everybody, welcome. It's Andrew Ainsworth Golf Academy. As always, a very warm welcome to you. Thanks for tuning in, watching the video today. I really appreciate it. Quick advertisement break before we start. If you're new to the channel, watching my videos for the first time, big welcome to you as well. If you like the videos, if you like the content, maybe you could do me a massive favor. Hit that subscribe button, and if you think the video is any good, give it a thumbs up at the end. Thanks for that. So I've done a video on this topic before, but it was several years ago when I talked about lie angles on golf clubs, and I thought it's time to revisit it. Although what I'm talking about will be the same content as it was several years ago, you might have missed that first video. Things have moved on a little bit, not much really. Lie angles, lie angle. And I just wanted to explain it to you simply because I see a lot of golfers who come in here, my studio, for lessons or for fittings, whose golf equipment, especially the lie angle, which we'll tell you about in a sec, is just so far out, and it's having a really big effect on how they hit their iron shots in terms of contact and direction. So what is lie angle? Basically, lie angle is just the way that the club sits on the ground. So this illustrates here, if we've got a good lie, a standard lie, the club sits pretty flush to the deck. There is an argument to say that the toe of the club should sit very slightly off the ground, because when a shaft flexes, it bows forward slightly, which tends to flatten out the lie angle. So that's open a little bit to debate, but let's keep it simple for today. Let's just say a good lie angle sits fairly flush to the deck. If your clubs are playing too upright, then the toe of the club is coming off the ground. So there's a gap there between the ground and the toe of the club, too upright. And what happens here is this side of the club, the heel of the club, hits the ground first. And for a right-handed golfer, as the heel hits the ground, it tends to close the club face, making you pull shots to the left. Can also affect ball strike. A bit more heely the ball strike can be. And if you get a club the opposite, which is too flat, you get the toe of the club digging into the ground. This bit hits the ground first, opens up the club face and pushes the ball off to the right. Again, all these things which I'm going to say are proven, but I think they're open to a little bit of interpretation. Digging around on the internet, the general agreement was that for every 1 degree that your clubs are out, your ball could be going right or left, anything up to 4 yards. That's quite a big number when you think about it, 4 yards, isn't it? Also, what affects this is obviously the person on the end of the club. You know, some golfers will consistently deliver the club face open, some will consistently deliver it closed. And as the fitter, if the golfer's not prepared to make changes to the swing and wants the lie angle to help them, you can set clubs up in a fitting more upright or flatter to help alleviate the golfer's problem. Wouldn't be ideal, but you can do that. Stick with me, just want to show you something from Ping. So this is my Ping fitting wall. When people come in for fittings for Ping equipment, which is my #1 selling brand, we have all these different heads in different lie angles. And I wanted to show you the Ping color code chart. Ping were one of the first companies to get into custom fit way back in the 60s. They realized that one length of club, one lie of club couldn't fit everybody. And generally, this is the way it works. We're digressing a little bit into length here, but it is relevant to lie. As the person gets taller, as you get sort of above 6 foot tall, we like to move into clubs which are longer than standard. So if you were 6'2", we'd be probably fitting you, depends on your length of your arms as well, we'd be fitting you into plus ½ an inch. And if you're much taller at 6'4", we'd be going an inch longer. Here's the slightly complicating bit. As you make a club longer, you also make it play a little bit more upright. So if I went plus ½ an inch longer than standard, that club would immediately be playing 1 degree more upright. And all these different color codes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different color codes represent different lie angles. And we have a way of measuring that. We take the person's height and then we measure the length of their arms, and then we correlate this across to give us the lie angle. This black is standard, and then you go upright this way and flatter this way. And this isn't absolutely bang on what I'm about to say next, but generally the taller the person becomes, the more upright the lie of the club should be, and the smaller the person is, the flatter should be. Doesn't always work like that, but it's a good general rule of thumb. And you can see on this little graphic here, lie too flat, ball wants to go out to the right. Lie too upright, remember the heel's going to hit the ground first, and pull that ball to the left, having a big effect on where your golf shot's going to go. Let me build some clubs for you and illustrate to you on GC2 how the lie angles changing will affect where the ball goes. Okay everybody, so what I've done is I've put together a Ping G430 iron, a standard length, regular shaft in here, but I've put it in the white dot. If you look at the color chart up here, you can see that the white dot is 3 degrees upright from standard. Now I normally play at a red dot, which is 1 degree flat. So this club is 4 degrees upright for me. Watch what happens as I hit the ball here. Hit a couple of shots. So you can see that's drastic. It's not drastically going to the left, but I've missed that green quite substantially. And the thing that that GC2 can show me, if I just change graphics for you, is that this club at impact was sitting 6.9 degrees upright as I struck it. Let me just change back onto this graphic here. You can see lie angle has been measured 6.9 degrees up. So what that looks like here, if my hand's the ground, and that would be sort of a good lie angle, this club's sitting way up as I hit it, heel hits the ground, closes the club face, and I'm going to hit everything pretty much to the left of target all day long. Now, I'm not blowing my own trumpet here. I could manipulate this lie angle. I could try and hold this club face a little bit open because I've hit a lot of golf balls in my time, so I can almost affect the line myself, but I don't want to do that. Ideally, I want to have the club that's set up absolutely perfect for me. So I'm going to change this white dot into a red dot, and we'll see what effect that has on the lie angle and where the ball goes. That feels better. I've gone back to my trusty red dot, 1 degree flat. I'll show you a little close-up video of how the red dot looks in comparison to the white dot, and you'll just see how much the white dot, the toe, comes off the ground in setup position. So let's hit a couple of shots now, and let's see if this lie angle gets a little bit better. Certainly looks better from above. I've actually hit that one a little bit out to the right. I'm trying to hit this straight, but it's definitely not going left. Let's just see what the lie angle tells me. I think that's what we call operator error there. So you can see now that the lie angle has gone from like 7-8 degrees up just to 1.5 degrees up. I didn't quite release the club on that. I left the club face a little bit open. Let's try that again. Okay, so there's a better swing. Ball's gone pretty straight. And my lie angle delivery, that's a better example, wasn't it, than the first shot. The lie angle now is 0.2 up, which means that my club is not interacting with the heel or the toe, keeping that club face square. Obviously, I could affect that. I could keep the club face wide open, or I could release the club and close it down, and we would call that more operator error. But the whole point of lie angle is it's one more thing in the setup of the club that can help you play better golf, certainly hit the ball straighter. And I think that's a very good illustration there of how much it's affected me. So, you know, I've got my lie angles back to red dot now, which is bang on, but I was 7 degrees upright. And they're saying for every 1 degree, you could potentially be 4 yards offline. 7 fours, 28 yards left for me. That's a big number, isn't it? So what can you do? How can you go and check your lie angles? Well, hopefully when you buy your clubs, you've been fitted for them rather than buying off the shelf. Buying off the shelf is very dangerous. You're kind of rolling the dice. and hoping you get the right fit. So when you go to a reputable club fitter, you'll have things like the length of the shaft measured for you, the lie angle, the shaft flex, the type of shaft, the grip size, all that sort of stuff is done in a fitting. But let's just say, for instance, you've got a set of clubs and you're unsure if the lie is correct. Let's just say you find you're hitting lots of shots left or right and you don't think it's a swing issue, then it could be your lies aren't right. You can take them to your local PGA professional or custom fit shop or any reputable golf shop, and they should be able to measure you. And they can do it in various ways. They can use things like GC2 launch monitors, which measure the lie angle. You can go on a hitting board where you put tape on the bottom of the club and you hit off the board. Ping still think that's the most accurate way to measure lie angle. Other people will disagree with that. There are lots of other methods, but if you then find your clubs are incorrect on the lie angles, they can be put into what we call a loft and lie machine. I'll show you a picture of mine, and you can bend clubs, you can change the lie. Certain clubs bend better than others. Forged clubs are a little bit softer and they bend easier. Cast or stainless clubs will still bend, but you have to be careful, and it has to be done by a professional who knows what they're doing, or else they can snap. So have a little think about it. If you're unsure, go and speak to your local pro or whoever you go and talk to you about golf clubs, and check your lie angles. It could make a big difference, didn't it? Put your experiences down below in the comment section. You know, if you've had problems with lie angles, or you use lie angles to compensate for maybe a problem in your golf swing. It's quite an interesting topic, but it is important. I'm Andrew Ainsworth. Thanks for watching the video today. All the best. Bye for now.